Many of us know that the Rosary is powerful, not just in your personal prayer lives, but also for the holy souls in Purgatory, especially in this month of October. The following stories recount both these details and will continue to inspire you to wield this powerful weapon in petition for the souls and for your soul. So there was a holy priest by the name of Fr Nuremberg that would often pray with an indulgence set of rosary beads, something that's not so common now, but was common back before Vatican II. He would pray for the holy souls every day and offer countless penances and prayers for them, especially with these holy beads. One day, he happened to lose them, not that he was attached to them on a superficial level, but he knew the power that they had and the indulgences that he was able to offer for the holy souls in Purgatory. Inconsolable, he realized he had to pray for them anyway, so he grabbed an ordinary set of beads and began praying for them. In the middle of his rosary, he heard the noise of something that sounded like the beads that he was so familiar with. He looked up towards the ceiling and saw them being held by an invisible hand and gradually descending and being offered to him. He was at the same time startled and consoled, and he was filled with a renewed fervor to pray the rosary with those beads for the holy souls in Purgatory, since heaven itself had reaffirmed this devotion in him. This next story is from a personal encounter of mine showing me the power of the rosary. Once when I was in college, we were leading a group of high schoolers, teenagers on a retreat. Well, I had this amazing encounter with one of them. He at first looked like he wasn't very interested, and in fact, some of the people on the team told me to go talk to him. I remember he had this kind of dark hoodie, he had it worn over his head, and I was presuming that he didn't really want to be there. But as we got to talking and I began talking a little bit about the rosary, because at the time I had this amazing zeal for it, he told me of an experience that he had that I will never forget. He said that one day he was serving at Mass and for some reason he had a seizure and they laid him down on the ground. He told me that at that moment he, for lack of a better word, died or stepped out of his body, and he said that he fell into what looked like a cavern. He kept walking and walking, and he felt like he had died, and he was walking towards this immense light. As he was walking, he told me certain details, that he had his hand on the wall of this cave, and he even, so to speak, cut himself on this little area. Later on, he told me that on that little area where he cut himself, he never ever experienced pain anymore, to where I even pinched that part of his finger, thinking, what are you talking about? That's impossible. And he said, no, it doesn't hurt at all. I can feel what you're doing, but I feel no pain there. He was walking closer to that light. He knew that it was God. And he said it sounded like 1,000 airplanes in terms of volume. And he heard the voice of God tell him, it's not time. He found himself falling through the floor back into his body, and he woke up. And at first I thought, wow, this is kind of crazy. Should I believe this story? Well, then he took my rosary beads and he held them in his hands. And at the time I began reading the amazing book, The Secret of the Rosary. And he began telling me everything about the rosary, things that I had read only in that book. It's as if he could intuit, just by holding the rosary, the power that it held. And I never forget the way that he explained it, this 15-year-old that I had never met and that probably had never even seen rosary beads. And he said, you know, the story of Jesus doesn't just end with the crucifix. It's the whole of it. And then he pulled out the rest of the rosary and said, this is the rest of the life of Jesus. And that's why we pray, both starting with the cross, but also with the beads. And I just remember thinking, wow, what a profound way to speak of it for someone so young. And he was so impressed by its power that he said, we must wear this around our neck. We must pray this as much as we can. And I remember he, for the rest of the retreat, wore the rosary beads with much reverence around his neck. And that confirmed early on in my faith experience the power of the rosary. My friends, we have just a few more days in this month. Pray your rosaries with great zeal and with great devotion, and I will see you in the next Purgatory story.